patriarchy doesn't give a f about you, girl.
Check out what we're paying for in San Francisco. What do you guys think about this?
My name is Virgie Tovar, and I'm the author of You Have the Right to Remain Fat.
No one has to be healthy.
A cake-related fatphobic incident, or CRFI, is that moment when it's time to eat delicious cake and it's interrupted by a moralizing impulse.
In the midst of San Francisco's notorious homeless epidemic, they've decided to throw some money at a different quote-unquote problem. San Francisco's Department of Public Health has hired Virgie Tovar, who describes herself as an anti-weight-based discrimination expert.
Can you cut me half of that? A cake-related fatphobic incident, or CRFI, is that moment when it's time to eat delicious cake and it's interrupted by a moralizing impulse. Inevitably, there's always someone at the party who has to declare publicly that their slice is too large, and that the person who's cutting the cake, almost invariably a woman, must do some disproportionate amount of labor in order to accommodate their need to feel superior. Let's take a look.
Can you do a little bit, can you scrape all the frosting off and cut it in half and give me 2 forks, because I'm sharing.
Okay, so apparently, and I did not know this until I watched this skit, but if I am at a party and I ask for a smaller piece of cake in the presence of obese people with insecurities, I am now a bigot and I am part of the larger picture problem with society, so I'm gonna really be careful that I do not do this in the future. And this is mostly a PSA, so you all don't make that mistake too, because we have to be careful about whatever is going on in the heads of hyper insecure individuals. Now, I understand what they're trying to do here and what they're trying to say, but it's just not landing with me. Let me know if it is with you in the comments below, but I have to imagine that there's a better way for these people to explain their cause here. So let's go on to the next thing that actually is a little bit even more alarming, because this here is problematic for me, but these next clips are what I'm really worried about.
Saying that, no one has to be healthy. No, right? It's there is no governing body that's out there putting, you know what I mean? It's no one owes anybody that.
Okay, so obviously you don't owe your health to yourself or anybody, technically. That is a freedom we have here in America, but there is a very good argument to be made. Do you want to owe yourself or your family or society as a whole health, because to be very large and obese or have all these medical problems that sprawl out from not taking care of yourself creates huge weight, no pun intended, on society as far as insurance and medical bills for yourself, or your family. How long do you want to be around to see your family grow and grandchildren, etc.? So I don't have a problem with somebody who chooses to be overweight and do drugs, for example, say Chris Farley, that is their choice, and I'm going to respect and honor that no matter what they do. But as a whole, this person is hired and working for the San Francisco Department of Public Health. So do we really want to espouse these kind of messages to children growing up that it's almost it's kind of a pro-unhealthiness rhetoric coming from this person? What do you guys think about this?
It's largely a belief system that isn't really based in evidence or data or science. If science isn't serving humanitarian ends, then what is the point that we're doing? What's the point of it? And it's right, because are we making science for aliens? For what are we, what I'm saying? So if by our scientific notion of whatever health is right now, if that's excluding 68% of the population, which is the plus size population, if that's excluding 70-ish% of the US population, then it's not working.
It's not working. It's not working. No.
Okay, so this drives me crazy. She's basically referring to our science model as a whole that recommends getting sufficient sleep, eating the correct kinds of food, getting some exercise, simple things like this, basic stuff. And if you do these things correctly, we've learned through science that you're going to feel better, you're going to be able to move faster, have more energy, all of the above. But she's saying that the scientific model isn't working, and the reason she's saying this is because 60% of Americans are overweight or unhealthy according to our science. So, can she not see that maybe it's not the science's fault and that maybe Americans just aren't listening to or following directions or the recommendations that were given to them by science? And if you compare it to other countries, blue countries, for example, where people are very healthy, obviously the science seems to be working there. So I don't know how she's not getting this kind of juxtaposition correctly. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it does seem a little bit dangerous to have somebody working as a counselor for the Department of Public Health in a large city such as San Francisco, where you're having all this information going out to people that's basically saying to not trust science, to just be unhealthy, embrace your unhealthiness. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Plus size women make $9,000 to $19,000 less per year than straight size women. So just to be clear, you can be overtly fired for your weight and get in absolutely no trouble in 48 out of 50 states.
Now, this is just funny to me because these stats are always funny. I'm very curious to know what jobs that these people are making less money at for being obese. I mean, are these jobs where manual labor is involved and maybe they're not getting paid more because they're not getting as many units moved or something like that? Or are they just fake statistics in general? I mean, obviously you should not fire somebody solely for being an obese person, but if their weight is somehow hindering their job, then that's a completely different story, and I can understand letting someone go if they're just simply unable to perform the tasks that they signed up to do due to their health.
Fat phobia is an actual legitimate form of discrimination. It aligns with other types of discrimination, like around race or gender.
So here, I agree with her. Obviously, we have to minimize bullying, for example, where I think a lot of her worries come from. It must be horrible to grow up and be bullied for any certain trait that, was not of your choosing. Say you were born with a birth defect, or you were just born a very large person, or whatever it is. We have to be mature and grow past that sort of bullying and being discriminatory. So the difference is, I just don't think this is a partisan situation. It's not, both the left and the right want to be healthy for the most part. It's pretty much widely accepted that you want to avoid being severely obese to avoid things like heart attacks or diabetes. It's so strange to me. So anyways, please let me know in the comments what you feel about this. Maybe there's something I'm missing. So please enlighten me, and just be sure to keep your comments a little bit civil. We want to be civil here. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Patriarchy doesn't give a f about you, girl.